Africa. Just the name conjures images of vast savannas, incredible wildlife, and cultures as rich and varied as the continent itself. I've always been drawn to adventure, to the unfamiliar, to places that promise a good story. So, when the opportunity arose to experience the heart of Africa, I didn't hesitate. Little did I know I was in for a crash course in cultural immersion, seasoned liberally with laughter. From the moment I stepped off the plane, I was greeted with a warmth and vibrancy that was contagious. The air buzzed with a different rhythm, a symphony of languages I didn't understand, and laughter that needed no translation. I knew right then and there that this journey would be full of surprises and hopefully more than a few anecdotes to share. My first foray into African cultural activities was a baptism by laughter, a whirlwind of vibrant colors, rhythmic movements, and a healthy dose of what did I sign up for? Moments. I found myself swept up in a whirlwind of traditional dance, my two left feet desperately trying to keep up with the intricate footwork of the locals. Let's just say my attempts were met with more amusement than admiration, but the infectious laughter of the dancers was enough to make me want to keep trying, even if I looked like a confused flamingo attempting the rumba. It was in those moments of glorious mishaps that I realized the beauty of cultural exchange lies not in perfect execution, but in the shared joy of experiencing something new together. One particular afternoon, I found myself in a small village, invited to participate in a traditional dance ceremony. Now I consider myself rhythmically challenged at best, but the villagers assured me it was all about feeling the music. Easier said than done, I thought, as the drums started pounding, their primal rhythm vibrating through my very being. The dance itself was a blur of colorful fabrics, energetic movements, and my own awkward attempts at mimicking the steps. I'm pretty sure I invented a few new moves that day, much to the amusement of the children who gathered around, their laughter echoing through the village. But here's the thing about shared laughter. It transcends language barriers. In those moments of uncoordinated joy, I felt a sense of connection with the villagers that went beyond words. We were united in our shared humanity, in the simple act of finding joy, in movement and music. As I stumbled and twirled my way through the dance, I realized that cultural immersion wasn't about getting everything right. It was about embracing the unfamiliar, about laughing at yourself, and about finding the common ground that connects us all. And sometimes that common ground is a good old-fashioned case of the giggles. Music, as they say, is a universal language. But somewhere between the pulsating rhythms of the African drums and my own rhythmically challenged self, something got lost in translation. It all started innocently enough. I was invited to join a drum circle, a chance to experience the power and energy of traditional African music firsthand. I envisioned myself effortlessly keeping time, tapping into some hidden reservoir of percussive talent. In reality, I sounded like a woodpecker with a caffeine addiction let loose on a hollow log. The other drummers, bless their hearts, tried to subtly adjust their rhythms to accommodate my erratic beats, but it was a losing battle. The circle became a chaotic symphony of offbeat thumps and muffled laughter, a testament to my complete inability to keep a steady beat. I'm pretty sure I single-handedly threw off the entire rhythmic balance of the village that day. But even amidst the musical mayhem, there was a sense of camaraderie. The other drummers, instead of getting frustrated, found my lack of rhythm endlessly entertaining. They would offer words of encouragement between fits of laughter, showing me different techniques, all the while shaking their heads in amusement. Navigating the world of fashion in a new culture can be a minefield of potential faux pas, and my African adventure was no exception. I'm talking about the kind of fashion mishaps that become instant legends, the stuff of embarrassing but hilarious travel tales. Take, for instance, the time I proudly donned a brightly colored shirt, thinking I was blending in with the local style. It turned out the shirt's pattern had a completely different meaning in the local dialect, something along the lines of, "I'm lost and looking for my pet monkey." Let's just say I became an unexpected source of amusement for the rest of the day. Then there was the incident with the traditional head wrap. I thought I was being culturally sensitive by attempting to wear one, but I clearly missed a few steps in the intricate tying process. My lopsided, gravity-defying creation looked like a cross between a deflated balloon animal and a bird's nest. Thankfully, the locals, with their infinite patience and good humor, took me under their wing, or rather, their head wraps. They taught me the art of draping, tucking, and securing, all the while gently correcting my numerous missteps, and always, always with a twinkle in their eyes. Food, glorious food. One of the greatest joys of traveling is experiencing the culinary delights of a new culture. In Africa, this meant stepping outside my comfort zone and embracing a world of flavors I never knew existed. From hearty stews simmered in fragrant spices to exotic fruits I couldn't even name, every meal was an adventure for my taste buds. Of course, no cultural immersion is complete without a few culinary surprises, and my African adventure was no exception. I'm talking about those moments when you take a bite of something expecting one thing and get hit with a flavor explosion that sends your taste buds into a tailspin. There was the time I bravely sampled what I thought was a bowl of hearty bean soup, only to discover it was actually a fermented porridge with a rather unique tang. Let's just say my face probably mirrored the expression of someone who had just bitten into a lemon dipped in vinegar. Then there was the unforgettable experience of trying a local delicacy that involved a whole fish, eyes staring up at me from the plate. I'm not sure what surprised me more, the taste or the fact that I actually ate the eyeball. When in Rome, right? One of the biggest challenges, and often the greatest source of amusement, was navigating the language barrier. I quickly learned that a few basic phrases and a whole lot of hand gestures can only get you so far. There were times when I resorted to a hilarious combination of charades, pointing, and sound effects, much to the amusement of the locals. I vividly recall trying to explain to a shopkeeper that I needed a toothbrush. After several failed attempts at miming the act of brushing my teeth, I resorted to drawing a picture on a piece of paper. The shopkeeper's eyes widened in understanding, and then he burst into laughter, pointing at my drawing as if it were the funniest thing he'd ever seen. It turned out my artistic skills left much to be desired, and my toothbrush looked more like a small, furry creature with bristles. We both had a good laugh, and despite the language barrier, we managed to communicate. In those moments of linguistic confusion, I discovered that laughter truly is a universal language. It bridged the gap between cultures, transforming potentially awkward situations into shared moments of hilarity. Ubuntu. It's a Nguni Bantu term that encapsulates the essence of shared humanity, the interconnectedness of our existence. It's about recognizing that our well-being is intertwined with the well-being of others, and it was a concept that permeated every aspect of my African adventure. From the moment I arrived, I was struck by the warmth and hospitality of the people. Strangers greeted me with open arms and genuine smiles, eager to share their culture, their stories, and their laughter. I experienced Ubuntu firsthand in the way communities came together to celebrate, to support one another, and to find joy in the simplest of things. There was a sense of shared responsibility, a recognition that we are all connected, and that our actions impact one another. It was a powerful reminder that despite our differences, we are all part of something much larger than ourselves. Ubuntu taught me that true connection transcends language, culture, and even rhythm, or lack thereof. It's about embracing our shared humanity, about recognizing the spark of recognition in another's eyes, and about finding joy in the simple act of being human together. As I reflect on my African misadventures, I realize that it was the unexpected moments, the cultural faux pas, and the moments of shared laughter that truly made the journey unforgettable. It was in those moments of vulnerability, of stepping outside my comfort zone and embracing the unknown, that I learned the most about myself and the world around me. I learned that cultural immersion isn't about getting everything right. It's about being open to new experiences, even if those experiences involve looking utterly ridiculous while attempting a traditional dance or inadvertently offending someone with your questionable fashion choices. It's about laughing at yourself, learning from your mistakes, and realizing that the most meaningful connections are often forged through shared laughter and a willingness to embrace the unknown. So go forth and get lost in the world. Explore different cultures, embrace the unfamiliar, and don't be afraid to laugh at yourself along the way. The world is a vast and wondrous tapestry of cultures, each with its own unique traditions, perspectives, and yes, even its own brand of humor. And the best way to experience the richness of this tapestry is to dive right in to embrace the unknown, and to let laughter be your guide. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, to stumble, to ask questions, and to laugh at yourself along the way. It's in those moments of vulnerability, of stepping outside our comfort zones, that we truly connect with the world and with one another. So I encourage you to seek out opportunities for cultural exchange. Travel to new places, immerse yourself in different traditions, and open your heart to the beauty of human diversity. You might be surprised at what you learn about yourself and the world around you. And who knows, you might even come back with a few hilarious stories of your own. After all, the best souvenirs are the memories we make and the laughter we share along the way.